everybody, get ready. Because today we are going deep into the ethical dilemmas surrounding AI.
The ethical frontier.
Yeah, where this amazing technology meets, like, some really tough questions about the future.
Absolutely.
We're really lucky to have some awesome insights to dig into from this show called AI Debates.
Yeah, they tackle the big questions about AI and like what our future is going to look like.
Exactly. It's really about what happens when AI is a part of, well, everything.
Right, and that future, it's unfolding like right now.
Yeah, yeah.
What's so fascinating is just how quickly AI is evolving, you
Yeah.
know? It makes these ethical debates not just like theoretical, but actually really urgent.
Definitely urgent.
Yeah.
Like we're writing the rule book as we go,
Yeah.
and the source material goes from AI, maybe like solving world hunger, to accidentally starting a nuclear war.
Oh, yeah, all big stuff.
So to avoid like spiraling, let's break it down step by step.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so I guess a good place to start is governance.
Okay, yeah, governance.
Like, how much control should we really have over how AI develops? It's a big debate, especially now with the EU proposing those new AI regulations.
Yeah, hot topic for sure.
And the source material, it really digs into it.
Yeah.
It talks about how, on the one hand, you have people like ethicist Dr. Helen Park, who are saying these rules, they're crucial for building trust in AI.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, think about it. If you don't trust your smart speaker not to, like, share your private conversation,
Totally.
how can you trust AI with bigger decisions,
Makes sense.
So she's saying regulations are, like, the key to using AI responsibly.
Okay. But then on the other side, the source also brings up the counter argument.
Right.
You've got tech entrepreneur, what was his name? Leo Silva.
Right, Leo Silva.
Yeah. He's basically saying, too much regulation could stifle AI's potential.
Yeah, like too much red tape.
Exactly. He thinks AI's potential is so big that we can't be too strict with the rules.
Classic clash of opinions.
Yeah.
And it's not just some debate happening in a lab somewhere. You go on social media, the hashtag AI ethics hashtag is like blowing up.
People are talking about it.
People are really worried. Like, are we going to end up with some kind of AI Wild West or like an AI police state?
It's a big question.
Yeah, I think it's something we all need to consider.
For sure.
So what do you think, listener? More rules or more freedom for AI development?
That's a tough one.
It is.
But while we're all thinking about that, maybe we should move to another big issue. How AI is going to affect the job market.
Yeah, the robots are coming for our jobs.
Well, the source material actually, it has this really interesting scenario.
Okay.
Like, imagine a company just announces they're automating like half their workforce.
Whoa, 50%?
Yeah.
Just like that.
I mean, that's a lot of jobs.
It makes you think, about what work is even going to look like in the future.
Definitely. And there are a lot of different opinions on this one.
Wait.
For example, we've got economist Dr. Mia Lin.
Okay.
She's surprisingly optimistic.
Yeah. She argues that AI, it won't just destroy jobs, it's going to create new ones.
Huh.
Like, think of it as, like, an evolution, not an extinction event.
Interesting take.
And she actually predicts that we'll see a lot more jobs focused on AI ethics and regulation.
Oh, wow. So that's like career advice right there for our listener.
Exactly. But there's another side of this coin,
Yeah.
The source also mentions Labor leader Jack Thompson, and he's worried about the people who are going to lose their jobs right now.
Right. Like, what about them?
Exactly. He's saying we need to have, like, strong support systems to help people transition into new types of work.
So it's not all sunshine and roses?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
He's saying we can't just be excited about the potential of AI without thinking about the people who will be affected immediately.
Yeah, I see his point.
And all of this is happening right now. If you look at the hashtag AI jobs hashtag, you see people talking about jobs lost, new opportunities. It's complicated.
It's a mixed bag for sure.
Yeah. And it's only going to get more complex as AI becomes, like, more a part of how we work.
Definitely. I mean, think about it. Self-driving cars, AI doctors, even algorithms writing music.
Wow.
The possibilities are incredible, but so are the potential problems,
Yeah. And those problems, they bring us right to our next topic, AI safety.
Okay, AI safety.
Because when we're talking about systems that could, like, control our infrastructure or make life or death decisions.
Or even write code that writes more code.
Yeah. Scary to think about. Then safety, it's not just a bonus, it's essential.
Totally. And the source material, it doesn't shy away from that.
No.
No. It talks about a scenario where an AI system fails in a really critical situation, and it has some very real consequences.
That's a good reminder that AI isn't just about cool gadgets and like futuristic dreams.
Right.
It's about systems that can have a huge impact on us.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we need to be sure that that impact is positive.
So how do we make sure that happens?
Well, the source brings up this AI safety expert, Dr. Alan Green.
And he says that every time something goes wrong, every mistake, it leads to better protocols.
So AI is like learning from its mistakes.
Yeah, just like we do.
That's kind of reassuring.
It is.
But then the source also has a different view, a more skeptical view.
Oh.
Yeah, this is from cybersecurity analyst Sarah Vega.
Okay, Sergey.
She's asking, are we moving too fast? Are we so focused on pushing the limits of AI that we're forgetting about the risks?
That's a good point.
Yeah, she's worried that we're innovating faster than we can ensure safety.
That makes sense.
It's definitely something people are thinking about. The hashtag AI safety, hashtag it's trending. And it's interesting, you see serious discussions and then all these funny memes about AI messing up.
Like what?
Like, oh, I don't know, a robot accidentally orders like 10,000 pizzas or something.
I've seen those.
It's kind of how we deal with big, complex issues, right? We use humor to deal with fear and uncertainty.
Yeah, for sure.
But those memes, they also remind us that AI safety isn't just this abstract concept. It could affect our lives in ways we haven't even imagined yet.
That's true.
Which actually brings us to our last topic for today, and maybe the most mind-blowing one. AI and its potential role in a Type 1 civilization.
Oh, wow. Okay, Type 1 civilization?
Yeah. Ready for a trip to the future?
I think so. Take me there.
Okay, so for those who haven't, like, totally geeked out on the Kardashev scale,
Right.
a Type 1 civilization, it can use all the energy on its planet.
Whoa.
It's a level of technology that's pretty much science fiction.
Like Star Trek stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what if it's closer than we think?
Okay, I'm listening.
The source explores the idea that AI could help us get there. Imagine AI managing all our resources perfectly, optimizing energy use,
Wow.
basically guiding us toward this, like, sustainable utopian future.
That's pretty amazing.
It is. And environmental scientist Dr. Omar Patel, he's totally on board with this idea.
He is.
Yeah. He thinks AI is the ultimate tool to solve, like, all our planet's problems.
That's a big claim.
It is. But of course, there's another side to this.
Okay.
Philosopher Dr. Elise Dubois, she's a little more cautious.
What's she worried about?
She's saying, what if we give AI too much control?
Oh, I see.
Whose future are we building then?
Right. Is it even ours anymore?
It's a scary thought. And if you look at the hashtag Type 1 Civilization hashtag, you see this mix of hope and fear.
Yeah.
People are excited but also nervous about AI being like a savior, but maybe also an overlord.
So that's double-edged sword again.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a theme that comes up a lot in these AI debates.
It seems like it.
AI has this incredible potential for good, but also for some pretty serious consequences.
Yeah.
And figuring out how to navigate that tension, that's going to be super important moving forward.
Couldn't agree more.
It definitely feels like we're at a crossroads.
It does.
We have this amazingly powerful technology, and the choices we make now, they're going to decide what our future looks like.
So true.
And those choices start by asking the right questions,
Absolutely.
which is what this whole deep dive is about.
You got it. So, listener, while we're talking about all this, what's coming to mind for you? What are your first impressions of all these different AI scenarios?
It's a lot to process.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm going back and forth between like, wow, AI could actually solve climate change. And then, wait, are robots gonna like steal my job and write better poems than me?
Yeah, it's a wild ride for sure.
It really is. And I think it comes back to that question we were talking about before. Whose values are going to shape how AI develops?
Right, because ultimately those values, they decide whether AI becomes a tool for progress or something, well, less desirable.
The source material had this point that really stuck with me.
Oh, yeah.
It said that AI is like a mirror.
The mirror.
Yeah, it reflects our own biases and assumptions back at us.
Okay.
So if we're not careful, we could end up with AI that makes existing inequalities even worse.
That's a really important point, and it's exactly why talking about ethics is so important.
Right.
We have to be intentional about the values we build into these systems.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just focus on what they can do technically. We have to think about the social and ethical implications, too.
So it's like we're building this super powerful tool,
Yeah.
but we don't really have the instruction manual figured out yet.
Exactly. Which brings us back to AI safety.
Okay.
That's probably the most urgent thing right now.
Why is that?
Because if we can't be sure that AI is safe and reliable,
Right.
then all these amazing things AI could do, like helping us reach Type 1 civilization,
Yeah,
they could easily turn into nightmares.
I see what you mean.
You mentioned earlier that AI can learn from mistakes.
Yeah.
But the source also talks about these black box algorithms.
Black box algorithms.
Yeah, where we don't actually know how AI is making its decisions.
Hmm.
So that makes it harder to make sure it's learning the right things from its mistakes.
So how do we, like, teach a system ethics if we don't understand its logic?
Right. It's like trying to teach a dog table manners, but you don't speak dog.
Haha. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it.
So what's the answer? Do we need to slow down AI development until we can figure out these black boxes?
That's a good question.
Some experts, like Sarah Vega, who we talked about before,
Uh-huh.
they think we should be more careful,
Yeah.
like prioritize safety research and really get a grasp on these algorithms before we create even more powerful AI.
That makes sense.
But then wouldn't that mean missing out on all the good AI could do?
Right. Like the source also talked about how AI could solve things like climate change and diseases.
It's a tough choice.
Yeah.
That classic balance between progress and being cautious.
But finding the right balance, that's what's crucial, right?
Absolutely. We need to be ambitious about AI's potential,
Yeah.
but also smart about the risks.
So we have to walk this tightrope.
Exactly. And that's where this conversation becomes bigger than just the experts and scientists.
Okay.
We all have a role in shaping AI's future.
But what can, like, the average person actually do? I'm not a programmer or anything.
That's what's so interesting. The choices we make every day as consumers, as citizens, as users of technology, they all matter.
How so?
Think about the data you share online, the apps you use, what you buy.
Huh?
All of that goes into AI algorithms.
So you're saying if we're more aware of, like, our digital footprint.
Exactly. We can influence AI in a positive way.
Wow. That's actually really empowering.
It is. It's not just waiting for governments or companies to figure things out. We can all be part of the solution.
So it starts with awareness.
Yes, learning how AI works, what the risks are,
Yeah.
and understanding how our actions can either make those risks worse or help minimize them.
I guess it's like we need to be as careful about the data we consume as we are about, like, the food we eat.
That's a great way to put it. We wouldn't just eat anything without knowing what's in it.
Yeah.
We need that same kind of critical thinking about AI.
So this deep dive, it's not just about AI.
No, it's bigger than that.
It's about being smarter about technology in general.
Totally. It's about realizing that AI isn't some separate thing.
It's a reflection of our own choices and values and hopes for the future.
And in the end, the future of AI is not set in stone.
No, it's not.
It's up to us to shape it.
Exactly.
But how do we make sure that AI makes the world better for everyone, not just some people?
Yeah, that's the big question, right? Like, we have all this potential, all this power, but how do we actually use it for good?
It's the million-dollar question.
The source material actually talks about, like, a global AI ethics council.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so like some international group that could set standards for, how AI gets developed.
That makes sense. This idea of everyone working together to try and figure out the ethics of AI.
It speaks to how big this issue is, right?
Absolutely.
Because AI, it's not limited to one country.
Yeah,
An algorithm developed somewhere, it can have effects all over the world.
totally.
So it kind of makes sense that we'd need, like, some kind of global rules to make sure AI is used responsibly.
That makes sense to me.
And those rules, those guidelines, they would have to address some really, really fundamental things.
Like what?
Like, what are the basic principles
Yeah.
that should guide how we create AI?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Should our top priority be, like, human well-being?
Right.
What about the environment?
Yeah.
And how do we make sure that AI benefits all of humanity, not just a few people?
So many important questions.
It's a huge task,
Yeah.
but we can't ignore it.
Right.
Because if we don't try to shape the future of AI, someone else will.
And they might not have the same goals we do.
That's kind of scary to think about.
It is.
But it also shows how much power we actually have right now.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just watching this happen. We can actually do something about it.
I like that.
So where do we start? The source material mentions this idea of participatory design.
Okay. Participatory design.
Basically, it means getting a lot of different people involved in the process of creating AI.
Okay.
So not just the programmers, but also, ethicists, social scientists, community leaders, regular people who use AI, everyone having a say.
So that AI reflects everyone's values, not just a select few?
Exactly. It's like democratizing AI. you know?
Yeah. I like that.
making sure it empowers everyone, not just those in power.
That's the goal.
And that brings us back to you, the listener.
Yeah, you're part of this too.
Your voice matters.
It does.
So what can our listeners do, like right now, to make a difference?
Well, first, stay informed.
Oh,
Read articles, listen to podcasts like this one, obviously.
of course.
Follow the hashtag #ADebates, hashtag.
Yeah,
The more you learn about AI, the better you'll be able to participate in these discussions.
that makes sense.
And don't be afraid to ask questions,
Yeah.
Challenge assumptions, speak up about your concern.
Be vocal.
Exactly. And support organizations that are working on ethical AI development.
Yeah.
Push for policies that put people first, that focus on social justice when it comes to AI.
And I think most importantly, don't get overwhelmed by all this.
It's a lot, I know.
We're all trying to figure this out together.
We are.
It's a journey, a collective journey.
And the future of AI, well, it's the future of humanity.
That's deep.
It is.
And with that, I want to thank everyone for joining us on this deep dive into the ethical frontier of AI.
It's been fun.
It has. Hopefully, it's given you some things to think about, maybe some new questions to ask, and maybe even a little bit of hope.
Because even though the challenges are real, so are the opportunities.
Yeah, we have the chance to create a future where AI helps us reach our potential, solves our problems, and makes life better for everyone.
Let's do it.
Let's make it happen. Keep the conversation going on social media using the hashtag #ADebates hashtag.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of AI.
Until then, stay curious.